Hey man, say man, gang man, you know what it is, man. Welcome back to another video, man. And today we're gonna be reacting to the epidemic of gifted YNs. Now, if you don't know what YN means, it means young N-word. I'm not gonna say the actual word on the channel because I do not want YouTube to be on my D. The gifted YNs, even the rapper YNs and all type of stuff, bro, it is becoming a huge crisis of them. Like, you know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of crash outs, a whole bunch of people killing each other. We don't need this violence in this world. You know what I'm saying? We need to be pushing peace always. Pushing peace. What J May say, he be trying to push peace and all that type of stuff, bro. We need to be trying to push peace, bro. All the YNs out here trying to kill people, always trying to rob people and stick people up in this world, bro. Y'all need to be doing that, bro. Y'all need God. And for anybody who gang bang and do all this other stuff that's not necessary in this world, you need God and you need to get closer with him. Well, without further ado, we're gonna get right into this video. Let's go. I ain't barking. Y'all got a man holding y'all on a string leash and y'all barking. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Chat. I don't know if this generation is gonna be uncooked. Cause what the freak am I watching?
So you mean to tell me that we got grown men, someone's son, father, husband, getting walked like dogs in prison, and these YNs are still catching bodies like it's just another day?
You could be Space Monster. I'm sucking your ass out. We going in here. I ain't giving no pass. So
now, this right here is the hugest, big, buffest crash out. You know what I'm saying? This man right here, I be seeing him on No Jumper, bro. He be like, supposedly, bro, a good fighter, and he's supposed to be fighting Aaron Plummer and stuff like that. This man right here, definitely a crash out. Look at this man. Look at this man. Look at this man's facial expression. He's definitely a crash out with that fat ass nose.
Give me no pass, because I ain't giving you no pass in here.
Fighting while you're naked?
Man, that's some West Side folks that get right up on him. Boom, bam on the dead homies. I'll whoop him, knock him out naked, dead homies. Off the back. It don't matter where you at in that. Off the back, I'm getting cracking. I'm over in the shower. Boom.
So you mean to tell me that we got guys who are 6'4" and up, 250 pounds and up like this dude 4 extra, and these YNs are still catching bodies in broad daylight, sometimes not even wearing a mask? Like the only thing they'll have in prison won't be their hands and maybe a sharpened toothbrush? You won't have that switch when this Avenger level threat, Thanos looking, been lifting for the past decade looking motherfucker comes after you.
If someone's curious, how do you turn someone out in prison?
Oh my gosh, not Fleece Johnson, bro. The booty warrior, bro. Why the freak did y'all put this man on a 20v1, bro? This man love eating booty, bro. Straight up. He love touching on other dudes, bro. No Diddy, bro. Why the freak did y'all let this man out of prison? Now, this dude right here, if y'all ever encounter this dude in prison, just know your life is cooked and you're over with. Your manhood is took.
If I spot one, then I think, hey, he's fresh, he's a virgin. I want that ass like that. His butt. I said, I got him. What kind of kiss was that? And he kissed me again, we kissed him. And I'm hard, man. I just know it, boy. I've been waiting 5 months for this, man. I ain't never made to touch myself. My balls is heavy. I clammed it. I kissed it. I love him so much. All that was in his butt. I pulled it out. That's what it sounds like. Juicy. Sweeten his breast.
What the freak?
He called his chest, his breast, man. Name chest, his breast. You're a woman now. My woman. I got to get you off.
Tell me that these YNs are still risking their freedom when you got these booty bandit, ass muncher gremlins like this guy behind bars. I want you to imagine
like
your cellmate trying to kill you over your booty. That sounds crazy to even say, but that's the reality.
One kid that he was on the toilet, he was shitting, and dude came in there with a knife and said, "Turn around, don't even wipe."
It's dudes in there crashing out over the buns, and that's not even far-fetched because some of these guys are
So I'm not gonna get too descriptive because, you know, I don't want to hear about this. This man said turn around while he had doodle all between his, you know? Yeah. Y'all some extra freaky deaky dudes in there, bro. That's nasty, bro. Y'all gonna catch some type of diseases, bro.
serving life sentences. They got nothing to lose. I mean, this guy dedicated his whole prison career towards going after YNs. He damn near got a PhD in freakiology. Dude legit might be worse than Diddy.
Charged as an adult in
There's no way he can't have no disease.
Gravity was hitting him. A grand jury indictment that could come in the near future. Judge told him that he would not be seeing freedom anytime soon.
Court may impose a hold without bond. Court finds sufficient allegations to support the charges. Considering the relevant charges, he is ordered held without.
The freak you crying for
this
now?
moment is tough to
you
watch,
made the
but it was
decision to
something
do
that
something.
Sequavius Dawkins' family says they needed to be here for. Simpson accused of killing Dawkins' son in first-degree murder involving another victim.
And you know, at one point before reality has set in and he realized that he took someone's family member and, you know, he started breaking down, I bet you he thought he was hot shit. He thought that just like every other YN out here, he was untouchable. Whether by the law or his ops, he was just above it all. But you see,
they be so blindsided by the police. They be thinking the police can't catch them, bro. They think they finna go on a race like TK-47, knowing dang well they is not like TK, bro. Y'all want to be like that man so bad. Now look what he doing. That man just got an extra sentence added to his 55-year sentence, bro. Man been locked up for damn near 10 years. And y'all still want to be YNs, bro? Take initiative, bro. You did what you did.
you only have that impulsiveness, that crash out mentality, that I'm gonna do whatever I want to whoever I want, consequences be damned mentality. When you're in that moment and the adrenaline is rushing, when you're on that high, or like a lot of these YNs, you're on some sort of drug numbing your emotions. But see, that adrenaline, those pills, you won't have those when you're in the courtroom. When you're in that cell, you won't have those. It's just gonna be you and your thoughts. And see, I've made a bunch of videos covering the epidemic of YNs. And I honestly feel like if watching this video, especially the story I'm about to tell you, doesn't motivate you to change your life, you might be a lost cause. Meet 17-year-old high school student athlete Noah Scurry, an academically gifted kid who had the highest.
Rest in peace, Noah Scurry. My condolences go out to your family. You know what I'm saying? That should never happen to him, bro. But unfortunately, he was too caught up in what he was caught up in, bro.
SAT score at his school. A kid who was described in the best light by adults and his peers.
Who was killed was exceptional.
He was killed this January.
Remarkably high on his SATs. The star basketball player on the team here.
When you saw him around, like, you knew he brought good energy to everybody.
He was really smart too. Whenever he entered a room, the room always lit. You know, it was always a smile on somebody's face when they were around them. It's so sad to think that he died.
Brief intermission. I'm trying to get to 100K subs, so I'd appreciate if you like, comment, subscribe on this channel and on my reaction channel, 40 Shams Live. Also, join my Discord if you go to basketball practice. But see, after clocking out from school in the basketball court, Noah would clock into the streets. Noah's street name was OTV Joker. And just like the Joker, Noah was a menace. Think of guys like King Von and Bloodhound Jeff. Yeah, he's cut from their cloth. He wasn't only going around whooping on his ops, but he allegedly caught 5 bodies. One of them allegedly being Gilly the Kid's son, Young Cheese, and being academic weapon at the same time. This is the Instagram story of Noah whooping on his ops, caption, "Don't come around me claiming that Fast Break shit." Fast Break being one of OTV's rivals, aka ops.
His face is good.
He blew his face off. He blew his face off, bro.
It's crazy to think how desensitized some of these kids have become to be able to do some of these things and then just carry on going to school like life is normal. I was having a conversation with a friend and we talked about how when people use guns to commit murder, it allows them to be disconnected from that murder. A lot of times these guys are doing drive-bys and shooting from afar, all while taking drugs like perks to numb their emotions. So they're not really fully experiencing the cruel, grotesque nature of murder. For example, imagine shooting someone from several feet away compared to stabbing them with a knife and having to stab them multiple times. That requires a different level of mental fortitude. That's something that would legit leave you with some next level PTSD. Now compare that to pulling the trigger while sitting in a car and then driving away, or pulling the trigger from a distance. Like, yes, you'll probably see the body drop, but that's probably as far as it'll get. After that, these kids are able to go home and probably see what they did on the news. And see, just like Noah's victims, Noah's actions eventually caught up to him and he became someone else's victim. After dropping this diss track with the rest of the OTV crew, tragedy would befall Noah. Commit these heinous acts, the drugs allow them to do a lot of the things that they do. Because for any normal human in their standard mental state, they can't commit these type of crimes. Humans have too many mental and societal deterrents preventing them from committing such acts. But with these new age drugs, you can legit silence your better judgment. But see, the downside is if you're not mentally ill or some sort of serial killer, you need to perpetually take these drugs to deal with the PTSD and cope with the actions that you've committed. Even known killer King Von was on meth when he died. It never made sense to me how these rappers will get on it.
Flow is cool, the flow is good, but if rapping has to lead to killing somebody, getting somebody killed, or somebody dying, bro, then it's not good. You know what I'm saying, bro? I'm not saying his flows is trash. His flow is pretty good. His rapping is pretty good. But if it ends up for somebody dead, bro, that's somebody's son, that's somebody's daughter, that's somebody's nephew. You know what I'm saying, bro? You gotta think about that.
Track and basically self-incriminate. They'll talk about how many bodies they have and they'll give these hints and detailed descriptions about how they killed someone. I know the FBI
and y'all goofy. Straight up goofballs. Y'all want to tell, oh yeah, I'm on Instagram Live. See, cheese, I got a gun right here. I got a gun. I just caught a body. You see his body right there? That's me. I did that. You literally you self-snitching. You self-snitching. You just so caught up in your own sauce, bro. You self-snitching.
CIA are probably more excited than anyone else when these rappers drop new music, because they're basically doing their job for them. But back to Noah Scurry. See, after making a YouTube channel just to drop this diss track, the next morning as he's getting in the car, about to be driven to school by his mom, one of his ops runs up and he gets fatally shot.
Teenager is gunned down in an alleyway behind his home. Noah Scurry is being remembered for his performance both in the classroom and on the basketball court. Games have now been canceled for the rest of the week as the school community mourns his death.
Once again, Noah Scurry was only 17 years old. Anyone with further information is asked to contact the police.
And one of the things I really hate about this situation is that even though he knew he had enemies and people who were coming after his life, he was still hanging around his mom. He was putting her in harm's way just by letting her be around him. And just like
like basically, if you over here hanging around your mama and you know your ops and everything probably got your location or whatever, why are you around her?
Making diss tracks about the people that he's killed. His ops also made diss tracks when he was murdered.
Like what? Did what Batman couldn't do this, put the Joker down. Baby Joker, this where the joke is over now. Clean bullets is burning his wings, he finally gonna be in hell.
And what was Noah's reward for catching these bodies and hurting all these people just to impress other misguided kids? His reward was a couple IG story posts and some of his crewmates saying that certain people didn't kill him, along with basically saying that they're gonna commit more crimes and more murders to avenge him, continuing the cycle. On top of that, Noah kind of just jump-started his friend's career, because ever since he passed away, the video has been gaining traction. It's sitting at 1 million views right now in 2 weeks. And his friend who you saw in the music video made a song called Joker 8 days ago, which right now is sitting at 47,000 views. And I bet you the views are only gonna keep going up because controversy sells. This might be the birth of a whole new Philly drill scene, just like we saw back in the day in Chicago when rappers would talk about killing and then people would end up dead, and that whole controversy would lead to more views and streams. In one of my past videos, I made the argument that you can always change your life around and that your actions determine your fate. I truly and genuinely believe that a majority of people who are in street life don't have to be a part of it. And even if they're presently in it, they can make the active choice to grow past it, because otherwise it comes with some pretty grave consequences. A perfect example is
the thing is, people always make it seem like they need to be in the streets, or the streets chose me. I need to be in the streets. See, I'm struggling in life. I need to be in the streets, bro. Listen, like bro said, not every single person needs to be in the streets. I got homies who was literally in the streets, who literally looked past the streets, who didn't even want to be in the streets.
You know, someone's gonna come in my comments talking about, oh, some of us actually did grow up in that environment. Some of these dudes are actually street dudes. And to those people, I just want to tell you, I don't care. If God bless you with the opportunity to go D1 and possibly get the chance to go to the NFL, at some point you gotta learn how to grow out of that hood mentality. Now, I'm not saying lose touch with who you are and where you come from, but you definitely gotta start carrying yourself differently. And this is strictly my opinion. But college football players, especially D1 college football players, the ones who get most of the publicity, the ones that get the NIL deals, you know, the ones who have little kids watching them, probably obsessed with them, need to not be doing these little YN stunts, acting like they're Swiss cheese or someone, not having decorum on the
Bro, the only people you Swiss cheese is on the field with your body, bro. That's the only people you doing.
D1 status, especially if you're performing well, your life becomes too high profile for you to even consider living that type of lifestyle. After posting that video, people who know nothing about my personal life came in the comments and said, you know nothing about street life, and they basically made the argument that a lot of people are born into this lifestyle, which may be true, but that doesn't mean you can't change. And for all those people who didn't hear me out, Kyron Lacey is currently facing charges of negligent homicide after a deadly crash. According to reports, his victim was a Marine veteran. Lacey was allegedly driving a 2023 Dodge Charger on Louisiana Highway 20 and recklessly passed multiple vehicles at a high rate of speed by crossing the center line and entering the northbound lane while in a designated no passing zone. So dude was speeding in a Dodge Charger and driving recklessly. Now, I'm not trying to play into stereotypes, but that's something that most YNs do. And I hope no one thinks that I'm trying to use this as a I told you so type of moment, because this is genuinely sad. Dude had a bright future ahead of him. But one thing I did realize, however, is that no matter what type of background these guys come from, they'll end up going down the path of a YN if that's what they resolve to do. A perfect example of that is 4 Extra. Although he's a
being a gangbanger, to me, is gay. I feel like it's gay. Cause you looking for validation from other men, bro. Do that not sound fruity? You want to be with the guys all day on the block selling drugs, doing all this stuff, bro. Real street dudes, like real street dudes that's heavily in the streets, don't even want to do that. You know what a real gangster is, chat? A real gangster is a man who know how to take care of his family, take care of his bills, take care of what he got to do, and stay on his business, and take care of his wife. That's a real gangster.
Gangbanger now, he admitted to coming from a 2-parent household with parents who worked good jobs. On top of that, his father strongly advised them against street life.
I started off young, 11. Off the back, I'm born and raised in the hood.
Okay.
On Western Vernon. I'm born and raised in the set, in the 40s, South Central. Off the back, whole family from the set.
And did you have anybody trying to keep you away from this life?
Hell yeah, my dad. My dad and my mom. But my dad for sure. He for sure, he was tripping, you know.
But he was from the same hood?
No, my dad don't back.
He wasn't, okay.
No, hell no. He went to school, graduated and all that, you know what I'm talking about, been to the army. You know what I'm talking about, he believe in, you know, education is the key.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't believe in the gang stuff. You know what I'm saying? My pops was hot when he found out. My pops found out when I was 12 though. He found out when I was going to school at Horseman. Principal called him in here. He like, your son bang. He like, my son don't bang. He like, your son do bang. He like, man, look at the tattoo on his back. And when he seen the photo on my back, he went up.
Although 4Extra was surrounded by street life in his neighborhood, he had a real life example within his household that he didn't have to go down that path. And although I am a strong believer that every human has the right to make their own decisions, these are some of the consequences of those decisions.
Shit, I was in it. I went to jail at 12 anyway. Attempted murder with my homie. Juvenile life. I stayed in there from 12 all the way up to 16. And they found us not guilty. On a sudden, they kicked us out. When I got out at 16, I came right back, like shit, 8 months later for a blower.
So yes, your environment can definitely influence you. But for people to think that your environment makes you 100% of who you are is flawed thinking. It just takes more strength of character to not let yourself get sucked into that cycle. So yes, your environment can definitely influence you. But for people to think that your environment decides 100% of who you are is flawed thinking. But for people to think that your environment decides 100% of who you are and who you become is flawed thinking. It just takes more strength of character to not let yourself get sucked into that cycle.
That's why these writers kept written by himself, written by herself, Phyllis Wheatley, Frederick, because they thought Negroes couldn't read and write.
For real.
They thought Negroes didn't have the capacity to read and write. And yet they made all the laws to stop us from learning how to do what? Read and write. If we can't read and write, what you trying so hard to stop us for? And the answer is because America has always known what you are. America has always known who you are. America
Smart man right here, bro.
What you're capable of, and they will make you think you ain't nothing at the same time that they exploit you lazy and make you a slave. They'll tell you you dirty and have you clean their house. They'll tell you uncivilized, and we raise their children.
Oh, bro.
They know who you are. But it's time that you listen to who you are. That you understand who you are.
If you made it this far, I appreciate you so much for watching. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications for you.
Alright, chat. I do want to say the moral of the story from this entire video, take something from this video. Don't get caught up in the wrong crowd, bro. It's a lot of people who get caught up in the wrong crowds thinking that's cool, bro. Being a YN ain't nothing cool, bro. You know what I'm saying? Rapping about killing people. Oh, I love shooting the op, bro. That ain't nothing cool. That's lame and it's corny. For people that's around me throwing up gang signs, talking about they like the ops, they want to shoot the ops and everything. They want to do all that, bro. Get a life. Straight up, get a life. I be having to tell people that's corny, bro. Why you throwing that up? Straight up checking people like, hey, man, what you throwing all that up for? That's corny. You don't need to be throwing that up. Especially, bro, do you know how many people from the suburbs I know that's in gangs, bro? We in Chicago, Illinois. We do not need to be doing none of this stuff, bro. We need to stay in school. We need to go to college, and we need to get a life. That's what we need to get. The only life you're going to be living for these YNs out here is behind that cell. You don't want to be behind that cell. You want to be free. You don't want no man telling you what to do 24 hours a day, saying when you can eat, when you can't eat, when you can come out of a cell, when you can't come out the cell, bro. On top of that, you barely gonna get as much sunlight. You might go outside in jail, go to the yard and everything, but don't you want to be free? Don't you want to drive? Don't you want to be with your wife? Don't you want to be with your mama? Think about that, bro. These YNs crazy out here, bro. We need to get better. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. If y'all did, make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Follow me on my Instagram and follow me on my Twitch. It's gonna be live on on Twitch this upcoming Wednesday. And I do got a Casanet video coming out tomorrow. It's a little Casanet, the whole girlfriend allegation video coming out tomorrow. That video's been circulating around the internet and a whole bunch of creators been reacting to it. So I'm like, why not me reacting to it? You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm gonna catch y'all boys next time. Peace out. Bye.